Greetings, fellow YouTubers. It is your favorite autistic asshole, King Cobra JFS, back at it with another video. So there was a law in Scotland that says if you misgender somebody, you can get thrown in jail. Oh my fucking god, it never ends. The sheer stupidity of it is just ridiculous. I get a couple hits of nicotine in before I do this video because, quite frankly, it is exhausting. It is mentally and physically draining and exhausting. People, of course, are going around saying that J.K. Rowling is transphobic. I disagree. The whole thing started when some asshole in Scotland raped 4+ women, shows up to court for his trial, dressed in drag, demanding that he be thrown into a female prison because he's trans. And what does this judge do? He throws this asshole in prison with all these other future potential victims. And the dude lasted like 1 week before he repeated his offense. How about no? And instead of the trans people being like, do they really need any more negative PR? You identify as a woman, then this is a woman's issue, correct? But of course, when J.K. Rowling commented on it, everyone was so quick to call her transphobic. And I'm like, yeah, but what if the dude who pulled that crap in Scotland legitimately isn't trans and he was just trying to do that to get access to more pussy? That's what I'm saying, dude. But God forbid he might be honest with us. You know, God forbid he might actually be what he says he is. Let me ask the trans community this. How would you feel, Satan forbid, if a cisgendered person raped some trans people and then lied about being trans just to have access to trans people in a trans prison, and then when you called him out on his bullshit, they started calling you transphobic? You would lose your fucking shit. This J.K. Rowling's transphobic. Fuck off. Like, Emma Watson is just, ugh. Another woke retard in the mix. And it's like, hey, Emma Watson, you wouldn't have your acting career, none of you fuckers would, if J.K. Rowling hadn't said, yes, I want you to play Hermione. Never mind the fact that J.K. Rowling made Dumbledore gay and chose a black woman to play Hermione in the live-action play remake. That's not enough. That's not progressive enough. If only J.K. Rowling had made Snape trans. Mr. Potter, did you just mislabel my pronouns? 500 million points from Gryffindor. Oh, unicorn bollocks. Do you kiss Peeves with that mouth, Potter? Take another 500 million points from Gryffindor. What the hell is up with Snape? Oh, don't be bothered by it, Harry. They, them is on their period again. Wait, Snape's on they, them's period? What's they, them's preferred feminine products? Always. Okay, if you're a Harry Potter nerd, you'll get that joke, but that was, And it's like, here's the thing of it. It's severely effed up that I'm reminded of the book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. So here's how this is going to go down. If you do not have, pardon my French, but if you do not have a cunt and titties, you're not going to a female prison. You're not allowed in the female locker room. I don't care. If you say you identify as a female, good for you. Good for you. I identify as supreme ruler of the universe. Kiss my ass. Sarcasm's a bitch, isn't it? Here's the thing of it. If it's all about inclusivity and equality with, we'll call them the rainbow mob, because they're constantly changing their lettering. They can't just stick to one set of letters. That they're constantly changing it. So I don't want to offend anyone by saying the wrong group of letters, because they change it all the time. So to make things easier, I'm just going to call them the rainbow community. Go with that. If it's all about inclusivity, then why not include heterosexuals and cisgendered folks in with the rainbow mob? You know, as long as you ain't a sicko, who gives a shit? That's the way I look at it. What the hell do I care what two consenting, alive, non-related human adults do behind closed doors? It is none of my business. You ever see a homophobic cowboy eat Rocky Mountain oysters? Bill Engvall, here's your sign. Now, I get bullied for being a hetero cisgendered male for wearing nail polish and eyeliner and occasionally black lipstick to rock and accentuate the goth look, because I listen to Ozzy Osbourne and Cradle of Filth, mind you. And to that note, Ozzy Osbourne could dress up in drag back in the day just to be silly and goof on himself and not be serious about it, you know? And no one was like, oh my god, are you gay? Are you questioning your gender identity? It's like, no, you fucking wanker, I'm just being silly. It's called being silly. Now, growing up as a kid, I was not taught to be intolerant, but at the same time, I was not forced to accept it. And when you live in a society that forces people to accept these people, it makes them want to accept them less. If you want to be trans, good for you. But guess what? You're going to have to wait till you're done with puberty as the gender you are assigned, so that you don't have any health complications when you fully transition. Thank you. And you must be 18 years of age or older. I cannot stress to you how creepy it is that people are doing this stuff because kids are saying they're trans. And it's like, okay, that's how you think? I say let them cross-dress, but that's as far as it goes. So that way if they decide, you know, maybe they're no longer trans kind of thing, they could just stop wearing clothing that's... But what really gets me about the rainbow community is they say gender is total bullshit, but, to quote Terrence Popp, but if you don't respect my gender, you're transphobic. And then, like, if you identify as a girl, but you want to be called Zer, sounds like I'm having a fucking retard stroke, but anyways... So then just call yourself a female. Then why have all these unnecessary added steps to it? Just to, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? I don't care. As long as you ain't hurting me or hurting someone else, you have fun with your pronouns, man. Woman, they, them. Whatever the fuck. Because when I say like dude and like hey man, I'm saying it like a hippie sort of sense. I'm not trying to be like, you know, like, oh my god, did you just assume my gender? And what makes the whole law in Scotland where you can get thrown in jail with pedophiles, rapists, and sick fucks and murderers just for saying you're not a girl. What makes that fucked up is that there are assholes who think there are literally 40 billion genders. And I'm like, no, you psychotic fucking nut job. There is not. And it's like, don't say breastfeeding, because that's gender inclusive and that's offensive. But if you don't respect their gender choice, you're a bigot. And I'm like, can anybody make sense of the mental gymnastics? No, they cannot. Because the level of... Now, the only reason I legitimately fight for LGBTQ plus equality is because I know people who are a part of that crowd, and I get bullied on YouTube for just doing my thing. I can't imagine what these people go through. So you can consider me a straight ally, a straight cisgendered ally. And here's the thing of it. What if you misgender somebody who's cisgendered? What if they prefer the term birthing gender, or some stupid shit like biologically gendered? Are trans people going to get thrown in prison for misgendering a cis person in Scotland? Of course not, because, you know, if you're cisgendered, nobody gives a shit about your opinions because you're not special enough. And here's the thing of it. A lot of people at LGBTQ plus do not want more privilege than everyone else. They just want to be accepted, and they want to live their life in peace. There's a lot of good people out there who are a part of the rainbow mob. And nobody focuses on that when you see crap like Audrey Hale, may she rest in piss. Oh, that nasty bitch from Doritos, what's her name? Samantha Hudson. Ugh, grody, Brody. Squirmy and Grubs, nope. Kid behind the camera's wife said it best. Ew! Now, thankfully, Doritos immediately fired this nasty cunt, pardon my French, upon finding all the nasty things that she tweeted. And I was like, that's just nasty. Like, and the fact that sickos are trying to make it a thing because the gay community gets to have a thing. And I'm like, nope, that's not how this works. Hashtag burn the map. But we circle back to the gender law in Scotland. It's now a hate crime in Scotland to misgender someone. And I'm like, what the actual flying Frank Sinatra, dude? Here's my take on it. Trans people have had to face a lot worse discrimination than simply misgendering someone. If you're so confident with who you are as a person and who your gender is, what it is, tell them to fuck off. The shit that my trolls are doing to me should be illegal, but do you see them getting arrested? Bullying an autistic nonstop? Of course you don't. Grab this vape pen, check it out. One of those legal herb pens. Yeah, man, let's get baked. No, I have nothing but respect for LGBTQ plus because in today's fucked up society, it takes a lot of courage to just be yourself. You know? And like, if you can accept yourself for who you are as a person, their opinion doesn't matter. You should not have to validate what other people think about you to feel good about yourself. That's got to be a shitty existence. I'm just saying, like... And of course now J.K. Rowling's deliberately trying to be transphobic on purpose to prove a point. Like saying, arrest me if you think it's such a crime. And it's like... Okay, you know, she doesn't have to go that far to prove her point, but I digress. And if J.K. Rowling was honestly trans, it would be a different story, wouldn't it? That would make some headlines. J.K. Rowling comes out as trans. And her new preferred name is Bend Over. Mike Cunt. Mike Hunt. It's like, yeah, J.K. Rowling came out as trans. Her new name is Mike, last name Hunt. Jokes aside, though, if it's all about equality with the trans community, excuse me. I'm gonna grab me a rock star fruit punch. I want to pour a little bit of vodka in there and continue the rants. You heard about Daphne, Dave Chappelle's transgendered friend? Let me share Daphne's story with y'all on YouTube, as I've done before. Dave Chappelle is a black comedian that literally makes fun of everybody and everything and just does not care. And the trans community fucking hates Dave Chappelle. Even though they preach how they're sick and tired of everyone hating them, and it's like, and they want to be included. They want inclusivity. That's a big thing for the trans community. Daphne was one of Dave Chappelle's biggest fans. And after the show, she actually walked up to Dave Chappelle and said, "Thank you for including her in the show. It made her feel included." Because Daphne was a real motherfucker, dude. She knew how to laugh at herself and not take things so goddamn seriously. Like, y'all gonna look at a comedian who makes fun of even white people, which in today's standard, no one cares. Dave Chappelle puts on white face. You can't call him a racist. You can't be like, that's offensive to my culture. They'd be like, fuck you, cracker. Cry me a river of your white tears and get over it. And I'm aware of that, and I check my white privilege, which I did not ask for, thank you, at the door. Well, here's the thing of it. Daphne wanted to be a stand-up comedian like her idol, you know, or the person she admired, like Dave Chappelle. So Dave Chappelle, decent guy, gives her a shot. And she bombed on her first attempt. You know, and then when she was backstage hanging out with some people, I think it was either that or she was on, like, her stand-up set, whatever. Some asshole shouted, "Hey, Daphne, do the carpets match the drapes?" And Daphne replied, and I quote, "I have hardwood floors." Everyone started laughing their ass off, dude. And Dave Chappelle realized, this bitch is fucking funny, dude. Because Dave Chappelle's friend Daphne found, you know, she wanted to be a comedian like her buddy Dave Chappelle, so Dave gave her a shot, you know, and that's awesome of him. But because the trans community fucking hates Dave Chappelle, but then sits there and says, we're sick and tired of being hated on, total hypocrisy, if you will, but speaking of which, the trans community bullied Daphne into committing suicide because she found Dave Chappelle funny. Yeah, her own community. The same community that preaches about equality and how they're sick and tired of trans people getting bullied because they're trans. And then y'all gonna bully someone else? And that's the thing of it. I see all these trans people bullying each other, but then if we do it, it's like, it's phobic. And I'm like, what? And if like Blair White was preaching this stuff, you couldn't disagree with her because you'd be called transphobic. The liberal, retarded left loves to throw that word around. Because apparently everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, everything's transphobic. People are assholes to each other. You know my take on this? I think people just need to grow the fuck up and be nicer to each other. God. Like, and that's the thing of it. These laws that they put in place, because now you can still be thrown in jail as a female if you identify as one, but in Scotland you have to prove that you're not a danger to your fellow female inmates. Which, let me ask you this. If you rape a bunch of women and then demand to be thrown into a women's prison because you say you're a woman, that's not how it works. If you don't have cunt and titties, you're not going in the female prison. If you don't got the lady parts, you don't get to use the ladies' bathroom or the ladies' locker room. That's just how it is. And it may be unfair to like trans people to a point, but they're always all about how it's all about their feelings and everyone else can fuck off. And the thing I would ask trans people is if it made you feel uncomfortable and nobody did anything about it and just called you a phobe, you'd be pissed about it too. And the thing I would ask women is to understand that trans people are people too and they're going through a journey. It's what it is. But from a female's perspective, it's like, okay, women are being told that all men are pigs, all men are rapists, all men are serial killers, blah, blah, blah. All men want is sex, all men are assholes. And then they had to fight for equality since before the 60s, mind you, to have their own sports leagues, to have the right to vote, etc., etc. Being told that men are assholes and you can't trust them, blah, 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 just to have a bunch of men turn themselves into chicks. And on some incidences, some, not all, getting more privilege than their cisgendered counterparts while bitching about equality because it's not enough. I'm like, if you're going to bitch about equality, then why can't we throw trans people in jail for misgendering cisgendered folks? You know? Because nobody cares. People are so afraid of being canceled and offending somebody that they'll swallow their pride and their morals. And the best part about the whole thing, it's all about creating a safe space, right? Well, what if people feel unsafe around a certain type of people? They don't get told it's going to be okay, we'll coddle you. They just get told you're transphobic and deal with it. And I'm like, then it's really not equality, is it? True equality is never going to exist because fuck sickos and fuck serial killers. Outside of that shit, you know what I'm saying? I need another beer. And that's the biggest problem with our society is people don't stop and think, how would it feel to be in someone else's shoes? People are just in it for their own self-interest and their own self-gain, and it's disgusting. You got these women who get mad at trans people because of the whole don't steal my gender as a costume is what they say kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, but actual cisgendered women are being told by other women in society what feminism and femininity is all about. And they comply with it, but then get pissed off when, like, dudes turn themselves into chicks and do it. Like, if you can't even define gender in today's society, then why should I respect yours? If gender is total bullshit, then why the fuck should I respect your choice of pronouns? And the problem with identity politics is that it can get very fucking dangerous. a nod to the joke that I made earlier about me identifying as supreme ruler of the universe kind of thing. You know, I was just being sarcastic, obviously, but what's to stop somebody from using God as their pronouns, you know? And that's just when it gets to the point where it's like, okay, we got to stop feeding these delusions. Like, I draw the line at transgender, thank you. You got these assholes who identify as transracial. That's a thing where white people think they're black, and if they throw the word trans behind it, you have to accept it, otherwise you're a bigot. And imagine, if you will, how is that not blackface, for one? And two, it's like, could you imagine being called a trans racist, transphobic racist, or whatever? No, fuck that. Could you imagine 400 years of oppression from white people, just to have white people turn around and go, huh, they identify as black, so, and because they're trans, you have to accept it, otherwise you're a transphobic and a racist. I'd be like, no, fuck off. Fuck off! With the door closed, blow that bitch right outside. Not only do like fucking hotbox the shit out of it kind of thing, but you know, like a little puff every now and then didn't hurt. No one know how. And the thing of it is, I find the extremes of these transgendered politics to be so irritating. Because all it does, it's all propaganda, which is designed to make people transphobic. Think about it. They're not going to report on, like, if a trans person does something good in our society, it might make local news, but it's not going to, like, make headline news, because that's the whole point of the news, is to piss you off, make you confused, and make you angry. It's a very similar tactic that's used to, how should I say this properly, sell more guns. If the good guy stops a bad guy with a gun, it might make local news, but, you know, that doesn't cause fear and pandemonia. So, of course, the mass shootings get more coverage than the people who save the day with a gun, because it's all done to cause people to fear guns / buy more guns because they want to protect themselves. And it's no different with the LGBTQ plus community kind of thing. And notice that when that bitch Audrey Hale pulled a mass shooting in Memphis, Tennessee, where she shot and killed several old people and a bunch of kids, all because the school she went to was a Christian school that bullied her, and because she had a crush on this girl at that same school who died in a fucking car crash. And so in her fucked up mind, she justified the shooting because of that. And I'm like, fuck you. I wonder if the cop who shot Audrey Hale in the shooting had like a one-liner, you know, like, I got your testosterone shot right here. Bam! That being said, I think trans people should have their own sports leagues. I don't think it's fair that dudes who have benefited from having testosterone their entire life, and they barely have any estrogen in their body to qualify as a female, they're just smoking the fuck out of the competition. So it's not okay to hit women unless you're trans. Okay, stop. And that's just it. The problem with extremist transgendered politics is that when it comes to this ideology of gender, gender doesn't exist unless it fits their narrative. But to a degree, I get what they're saying. This idea that boys wear pants, girls wear dresses, blah, blah, blah. That gender-specific bullshit is retarded. Because in Scotland, they wear kilts. I rest my case. Both women and men wear kilts. Kilts are a Scottish tradition, and they're gender neutral. So And like that's the thing of it. Nobody wants to have this conversation because they don't want to get attacked on X, which is now formerly known as Twitter. Why did Twitter change their name to X? Probably because people love to bitch about their ex on social media, so Twitter is just like, we'll beat you to it, we'll just call our website X now. Now, when I go off on these rants, it's nothing against the rainbow community. If anything, all these laws do is make it harder for trans people to get acceptance. Because it's now a hate crime to misgender somebody in Scotland. And I'm like, yeah, but what if you got some asshole who thinks there's like 40 billion genders and you just happen to pick the wrong one? Like, these assholes who identify as a cat because cat is now a gender. And I'm like, no, it's a separate animal, you fucking nut job. Now, I get shit for just doing my thing, so I can't imagine what they go through. But when you say the psycho crazy shit that you've heard come out of that side's mouth, you know, it's like you identify as a cat, so how does that work? You ask them questions and they get offended. And it's like, if you're going to get offended when people ask you questions, then why identify as that in the first place? It's all about inclusivity. It's all about inclusivity with the trans community. But does that mean we get to include everyone else? No, because that means you're transphobic. And again, I'm not being a dick. I am just literally taking what I see and what I hear and verbalizing it. Want me to call you a female? Fine, I'll call you a female, but you need to acknowledge that you're a female who can't give birth, you can't have your period, and you can't lactate. You notice that human beings are the only ones with a gender complex. Every other mammal doesn't have that gender complex. Like, you don't see like male cows trying to feed their calves milk because they think they're a lady cow. But we're supposed to just erase millions of years of human biology because it offends you. And to quote Eminem, I want to say this: y'all are just too goddamn sensitive. Seriously, how did a society that grew up watching Family Guy and South Park become so goddamn easily offended by everything? It's ridiculous. Speaking of South Park, Segway, the Oztec drug, whatever the fuck it's called. All the celebrities are talking about it. And a lot of people are pissed off at Kelly Osbourne for saying, and I quote, the only reason why people are mad at celebrities taking it is because they can't afford it. And she's absolutely 100% right. And a lot of people are saying that if you don't have diabetes, you shouldn't take it kind of thing. And I'm like, well, here's a thought. Just make more of the drug that people are craving and sell the fuck out of it. If all these celebrities are buying it up and taking it away from diabetics, yeah, that's fucked up. But, to be fair, Hollywood puts a certain sort of pressure, especially on women, to look a certain way. Women, on the other hand, are held to a higher beauty standard than men. And when you have a busy Hollywood lifestyle, it can be hard to, schedule in a workout. Plus, you've had a long day of work in the industry and you just want to kick back on the couch and dick around on your phone and do absolutely nothing. That's what it is. But based off of what Sharon Osbourne said about the drug, if I want to lose weight, I'll just work out. You know what I'm saying? Kelly Osbourne said that working out is boring, and I'm like, well, that's your choice. It's not boring, honey. It's just because you run a busy Hollywood life, so it can be hard to find time to work out. Plus, working out's not boring when you put on your favorite music and just start, powerlifting to some Ozzy, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, dude. If I go for a workout, I'll blast some Ozzy Osbourne and start fucking working out. Yeah! Ugh. But that's just my personal opinion, and I honestly don't give a shit. It shouldn't matter what people look like, but what they contribute to our society. And it's all about body positivity in our society, but then they offer you these wonder drugs that all you gotta do is stick yourself in the stomach with a shot, and boom, you start losing weight. But if the side effects include a loss of appetite, diarrhea, and all this other crap, I'm like, is it really worth it? And to be fair, everyone's looking for that quick excuse, that quick fix kind of thing. It's like, wait, I can eat like crap and not have to exercise and still lose weight? Fucking A. And it's like, well, yeah, but everything you do comes at a price, sort of thing, Based off what Sharon Osbourne, Ozzy's wife, said about the Oztec or whatever, those injection things that South Park made fun of, I'm like, you know what? I'm good on that, dog. If I want to lose fucking weight, I'll just cut. It's a personal choice. If you can't go to the gym and work out because your schedule is busy, whatever, that's fine. But it takes willpower. And people are fucking lazy when it comes to that. It's just the truth. It's not an offense to anyone, because I see both sides of the arguments on a lot of things. And it's like, what made the new episode of South Park extremely funny, YouTube, is that Kyle from South Park legitimately made an effort to try to help Cartman make himself feel better. And then after his big grand speech, we gotta stop making fun of people of a certain body type, blah, blah, blah. And then that's all Cartman wanted, And the thing with fat acceptance is I'm totally here for it. Body positivity is a beautiful thing, Human beings, we're all colors of the rainbow. We come in different shapes, sizes, and colors. Nobody has the perfect body, and that's just all right. Because the illusion of perfection doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And circle back to Kelly Osbourne for a second. Here's the thing of it. And this is what's really toxic about celebrity culture, I feel like, is if Kelly gains 20 pounds, everybody talks about how fat she is, blah, blah, blah. And that's got to be hard on, your mental health and just, ugh. Side note, if you see Kelly Osbourne hanging out with her kid and watching her baby daddy perform, leave her the fuck alone. I was watching an episode of the podcast, and literally she was like, this dude came up to me and was like, is that Ozzy's grandkid? And just started crying. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it's an emotional experience for us diehard Ozzy fans. But at the same time, bro, boundaries. It's all about body positivity, but you get the extremes of these assholes. And if you're skinnier than they are, it's fat phobic. If you go to the gym and work out, it's fat phobic. I'm like, okay, here's the thing of it. Because you want a skinnier body, but you can't get it, so you accept it and just embrace it. That's what, that's what fat acceptance should be about, not being a huge hypocrite about it. Beautiful at any size, but if you're skinnier than I am, it's fat phobic. Kiss my ass. And the thing about it is, too, man, is that food is regrettably delicious, and you need food to live. I've been blessed with good genetics. I have a pretty high metabolism. So I might get like a little bit of a pudge right here, but I don't care. Do not care. I judge people based off their character, and that's it. And that's just the way life should work. And for like a lot of women especially, like women are held to a higher beauty standard than men, and they hate competition. So then of course when they see a man who transitions into a woman, they see it as competition. Great, another woman to compete with. And like people are just way too offended by everything anymore, and it's so irritating. Plus, when you have to rely on someone else for validation, regardless if you're trans or not, that's gotta suck. Like how our society says, healthy at any size, but if you're skinnier than I am, automatically you're fat phobic. And it's like, what? No. Okay? You can't sit there and say, beautiful at any size, but if you're skinnier than I am, I automatically hate you. And then fucking bitch because, well, people hate you for the way you look. And it's like, the hypocrisy makes my head spin. Baby, ride round, ride round. The way I look at it, YouTube, the way I look at it is if people want to eat like crap and be fat, that's their choice. If people want to work out and stay in shape, that's also their choice. And people just need to fucking grow up and stop being hypocritical, self-righteous assholes to each other. Like, it's the truth. And I'm here to let you in on a little secret. Calories are not the enemy. It's what you do with those calories. If you want to eat like crap and you don't exercise, of course you're going to gain weight. But you eat like crap or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yes, eating healthier does have a positive impact on things. But like generally speaking, if it doesn't matter what you eat, if you eat like crap or if you eat period and then don't move and just sit on your ass, Doesn't matter what you're eating, you're going to gain weight. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, you get all these fucking movements that are supposed to make people feel better about themselves, and then they turn into a giant political shit show of, You see all these TikTokers who are severely overweight calling everyone else fat phobic because they're skinnier. And it's like, maybe because you're jealous that you can't be that skinny. And maybe you should, like, I don't know, focus on your own life instead of being a fucking dick to everyone else. Because here's the thing of it. If you saw some, like, muscle-headed dude going on TikTok and ripping on fat people, you'd call him a dick. You'd be like, well, what's your fucking problem, dude? You know what I'm saying? The guy would be fucking canceled for being a fat-phobic piece of shit. But when they do it, it's like, oh, look at your disgusting muscles. Oh, you fat-phobic piece of shit. Nothing gets done about it. All for me, but none for you kind of thing? Is that how the society we live in works? Because I'm fucking over it. It's like, I tell you what, this person over here wants to eat bacon-wrapped deep-fried Twinkies and Snickers. That's their prerogative. This person over here wants to be a vegan. That's their prerogative. But you know what pisses me off about vegans? They're such hypocrites, dude. They sit there and go, you're murdering animals for your food, but it's like the food they eat is taking food out of the animals they're trying to protect. So you're killing a living creature by starving them to death, and you're killing plants, which are also a living thing. So vegans murder twice as many living things as everyone else when they just eat meat. And the way I see it, if you don't eat meat, then the animals are going to overpopulate and die out. So, like, by eating the meat, you're doing your part to conserve the population of animals. So one could argue that eating meat is actually saving the animals. Plus, you know, like, cow farts are bad for the ozone layer, so do your part. Eat a bacon cheeseburger. And vegans say, well, we don't miss meat, or we don't want to eat that crap, right? So that's why you try to replicate it. If vegans didn't miss meat or / want to eat it, they wouldn't try to replicate it. Like Beyond Beef, it's beyond disgusting. You know what makes the Impossible Whopper taste just like the regular Whoppers? Because you grill the patties on the same goddamn grill as the meat patties. That's what makes the Impossible Whopper taste like real beef. It's because you're grilling it on the same goddamn grill and the same goddamn grease as the regular beef patties. And like, if humans wanted to be, that's the thing of it, as a species, we've gotten lazy because now you can get food anywhere. We don't have to hunt for our survival. We don't have to fight for our survival as human beings. So, as a result, now you have humans who choose to be vegan. And you want to be vegan, that's your choice, cool, do you. But don't act like you're better than everyone else just because you're fucking vegan or what have you, you know. That is so pretentious, dude. They act like they're Jesus fucking Christ because, oh, I don't eat animals. No. Fuck off. Women are overly sexualized in our society, and they're held to this higher beauty standard than men. You know, and like men, we're pressured to go out and get sex. As soon as we try to get laid, we get called a simp. If we're not getting it, they give a shit about that too. Men are only celebrated when we actually get it. Whereas women on the other hand, are pressured to give sex, and if they don't give it, they're a cock tease. If they do give it out, they're a slut. And if they're not getting it, you know, they get told, it's okay, honey, you'll find a man. Or you don't need a man in your life. Bullshit. This you don't need a man in your life, I call bullshit. You know why the minimum wage gap, why men get paid more money? I'll tell you why. Because our society is sexist. Because women's crap costs more money. And because men are expected to pay for everything. If a dude goes on a date and tries to pay for the meal, a woman could literally be like, what are you, a sexist? Because you can't handle a woman paying for it for a change? So you let her pay for it, and then she calls you a cheapskate, a cheap date. What a pussy, he can't provide his own shit. So you offer to pay for half of it because it's called compromise. And it's like, oh hey, when men are the ones getting screwed over on divorce courts, and they're the ones being forced to pay child support payments, that's why men make more money than women. It's the truth. Well, she pushed him out, so she shouldn't have to pay for it. That's just the way society looks at it. So literally, a woman can fuck your neighbor in the house that you paid for, and you walk in on her cheating on you. You can't hit him, and you can't hit her because that's assault. She can hand you divorce papers and make you sleep on a futon in the living room of your own house, and then make you pay for child support payments. And then she can take all that money and blow it on crap if she wants. And it's like, okay, women want to be paid the same amount of money as men. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But we got to make men's crap equally as expensive. You know, maybe every once in a while she pays for the meal kind of thing. You gotta love how that works, because if she pays for the meal, it's like hashtag girl boss, right? But he's a cheapskate because he can't provide his weight. Fuck that. You know why men have all the power in our society? Because nobody gives a shit about our feelings. If men get kicked in the balls, it's seen as comedic and fucking hilarious. But kick a woman in the vagina and everyone's like, you piece of shit, what's wrong with you? Oh crap, Cheryl racked her beef lips. Walk it off, honey, you're gonna be okay. Oh my god, you guys, Chad got racked in the nuts. Oh my god, did somebody film that? We should put it on YouTube. I'm all about equality to a point, because evil people don't deserve rights. That's just, you know. But anymore, it just feels like society is just mentally exhausting. The idiots in our society, the idiot trolls, it's just, ugh. It is mentally exhausting. Like, the trolls on my channel don't really do anything for my YouTube. All they do is contribute to the bullshit. And, How long is this fucking video? I'll give it 5 more minutes. Fuck. Where was this fucking video that I saw on the right here?
A woman marries a woman or a guy marries a guy, do that, it goes straight to hell. LGBTQ is not religion.
Here we fucking go. So there's this Tyler dude who goes around doing interviews for YouTube, and he investigated a city that made being gay illegal. Oh my goodness.
This is Hamtramck, Michigan, a predominantly Muslim town that made it illegal to hang the gay flag up in public space, causing a small war between the LGBT community and the Muslims that live here.
And that's what really, this whole argument starts off with, if it were gender, or excuse me, the situation were reversed, if the city made it illegal to hang Muslim pride up in public spaces, you would call them a phobe. You'd be like, this is religiously intolerant, blah, 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 blah. But when it's a part of their belief system, you have to respect it, otherwise you're the one that's being intolerant. I'm over here like, ow. 1 second, I want to grab something here. This video I'm about to watch is 14 minutes long and 41 seconds. I'm going to pause the video to interact with you and insert my 2 cents. And it goes without saying, we're going to need this beautiful case of beer right here. Let's just do it, man.
I have the right to say I'm against the gay pride flag. If anyone has an issue with it, they could go kick rocks. You keep your flag, you want to put it at your house, put it at your house. Do not put it on city property, and do not put it in our schools.
But before I went there, I flew to San Francisco's Gay Pride Parade to hear what they thought of the gay...
And that's so fucking stupid. Like, who? It's just a fucking flag, dude. It's not like they're putting up a Nazi flag, I'm just saying.
ban in Hamtramck and what they think of the massive controversy regarding many people believing LGBT ideas in school and pride parades expose children to dangerous forms of public nudity and groom them into believing certain ideas about their gender identity and sexuality at an age in which they are incapable of understanding what those concepts even mean.
That's why if you're going to teach kids to be tolerant of LGBTQ, you can do it without flashing and all that disgusting crap.
Upon entering, I was met with a guy dressed as Spider-Man, nude from the waist down. Why'd you whip your penis out today?
I love the attention. I have a lot of hugs, a lot of photos. People seem to enjoy it.
Okay, so you're walking around with an erect penis today?
Mostly.
What are your thoughts on families walking around here? Is that too much, or
I just avoid them as best I can and give them a thumbs up, and never had a problem with anyone. So you want to walk with me and find out?
Here's a thought. If you're going to have an LGBTQ plus pride parade, and you want to celebrate the rainbow and how fabulous you are, fine. But you can do it without being nude. Anyone else were to walk down the street buck-ass naked, they would be put on the offendery list. But if you tell him to cover it up, they can look at you and go, well, you're just homophobic. It's like, no, you fucking moron.
Let's go. Did you notice what he's packing today? Yeah. Not inappropriate.
No, I am part of the community that kink and queerness are one and the same, and if you don't want your kids to see some queer kinky shit, you shouldn't bring them to Pride.
And then I found a naked old man.
And that's my whole point. If you don't want your kids seeing this crap, and you shouldn't bring them to the parade. And I'm like, here's a thought. How about you stop being like... You know people are going to be stupid because they want to appear progressive and woke to all their buddies. So here's a fucking thought. How about you don't do that crap when you know there's going to be people under a certain age that are going to be there? Fuck sickos, dude.
You're naked.
Oh my goodness, I knew I forgot something.
So what drove you to take all your clothes off?
Oh, I just thought it would be a festive thing to do.
Okay.
Seems to smile.
Is that inappropriate for you to be out here with your penis
There's
out?
so many little kids, and we kind of shy away from them.
Okay, so you kind of squirm away. Got it. And then I saw this guy. Sir, can I interview you?
Go ahead.
Okay, I like your outfit.
I'm enjoying what I got for free. I didn't start getting these till about 4 years ago.
Oh, okay. Tell me about it.
It was unexplained.
What do you mean? Like gynecomastia?
Yeah, I'll live with it and celebrate what I got for free.
You don't think it's like inappropriate with kids out here or what?
That's what Pride's about. Kind of celebrating Pride.
Even if there's like families and kids out here?
Well, it's I'm out here to celebrate, and that's just how it is.
So you can't get in trouble like with the law?
No,
I need an adult.
hang out by the law enforcement. It's
I
a little
see.
safer over there.
From the little legal research I've done, walking around with your birthday suit on is illegal. But I was curious to see what the local police would say when I asked them if I too could whip my penis out. Question for you, officers. Am I legally allowed to have my penis out today?
Do whatever you want.
Okay, so that's not against the law?
It's not against the law as long as you're not masturbating and you're not fully erect and it's not for sexual gratification.
Okay, cool. Thanks. The police clearly didn't care, but what about the people and their families attending the parade? What are your thoughts on the people out here that are showing like their penis and that sort of thing?
I don't know. I get that it's like, they want to be themselves.
Sure.
But it's like, there's also kids here.
What I know is that we're all experiencing growth.
YouTube, this is why LGB is getting so much fucking hatred. It's like, if you want people to accept you, you have to draw lines in the sand. And realistically, people under a certain age are not mature enough to grasp these adult concepts, and they don't care. They look at that person over there, and it's like, why does he have a beard like daddy, but a dress like mommy? If anything, they're confused.
And I know my life has been completely transformed. I may have never struggled with homosexuality. I've never struggled with my identity sexually, but I sure struggle with my identity in every other regard. Reality is we all need help.
It can be a part of Pride, but I feel like doing it in daylight when people are bringing their children is not exactly comfortable.
I complimented someone's...
Really?
Yeah.
How old are you?
About to turn 16?
Okay, so you are a minor.
Yes.
Is it unusual to see these things out here?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah?
Some guys try to high-five me.
Yeah, like naked guys?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
I high-fived him back.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But
Got
I
it.
did.
So there's a lot of counter opinions that might say people coming out here showing their genitalia in front of children is an act of grooming or maybe exposing them.
People can decide to bring their children here or not.
But the kids can't decide to come, right?
There aren't that many children here that I've seen.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I really haven't seen that many children, honestly.
Okay.
Penis is not going to hurt you in the wild. Fight capitalism. Fight the patriarchy.
Oh my fucking gosh, she's one of those dumb bitches. Look, a penis isn't gonna hurt you, she said. Oh my fucking god. They're gonna justify exposing themselves to people under a certain age because it's Pride. Get fucked. Again, this is the kind of crap that just brings more negative publicity to people who don't need it. Like, the idea of, oh, can we let kids grow up, mature into young adults, and think for themselves? And hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. What is so hard about that concept, YouTube? Fight the patriarchy. Fuck off. This bitch right here, oh, a penis isn't gonna hurt you, right? Until these trans people are showing up in your locker room and they still have a penis and balls and you're uncomfortable with it.
What are your thoughts on the public exhibition of said genitalia?
Like this right here?
Sure.
You know, not my forte, but
Sure.
it's San Francisco. That's what you get. That's just how it goes, unfortunately. Leave the kids at home.
And then I saw this mom with her kids. Why did you bring the children to the festival today?
You know, we teach them that you can have a mom and a dad like we are, or you can have two dads.
No. Okay, if you know for a fact that there's going to be adults walking around with their shit hanging out, you don't bring your youngins to that crap. Fuck off.
Moms and that those are all family.
So would you allow your child to transition?
Yeah, I would support them. If
Okay.
my child was trans and we, you know, went through all.
Okay, no. If your child is trans, you allow them to cross-dress, but that's as far as it goes. If you still decide that when they are illegal adults, after hitting puberty as the gender they're assigned for health reasons, if they still feel this way, then proceed with it. But fucking hate this dude.
The steps and the support and everything that ultimately I would want them to be able to live as their authentic selves. Every preschool we applied to in San Francisco asked what his preferred pronouns are. And we felt like, honestly, like he wasn't even 3 at the time.
Oh my God, so you got people asking, what are your kids' preferred pronouns? And they're not even old enough to grasp the concept of any of it, dude. These people are fucking mental.
And yeah, I think that gender is a spectrum.
You're gonna ask a mom what her 3-year-old kid's preferred pronouns are. Jesus fucking Christ, our society is mental.
This guy. Okay. Question for you guys. Maybe officers. Do you think that children should be exposed to your private parts in a public manner? Do you think it's
everybody's private parts are out?
Got it. Okay, so if we were to see someone whose penis was out, which we've seen today, is that inappropriate for them to be out like this?
I mean, it's natural. Like,
Got it.
Everybody's born with the same body, so why?
I see.
Yeah, why try to?
Well, we're not born with the same body, as I addressed earlier. Bodies come in different shapes and sizes. We try to body shame people, he says. Don't try to use the body shaming argument to justify your borderline sicko shit.
So it's not like public indecency
fucking God, dude.
Capacity to expose a kid to that. So anyone who may believe that, do you think that's an erroneous, intolerant notion?
It is the natural body, and so why not give kids the opportunity to see comfortability in its main form?
I think it should just be up to the parents.
So we saw a guy named Spider-Man who had an erect penis, and we were walking around with him. Do you think that's beyond the line? Okay, I guess we'll never know. Is it like wrong for you to bring your kid to this? What do you think?
Yes, this is not the environment for them to try to learn. Ass titties everywhere. This is nothing for kids.
If you had a child, what age would you let them transition genders?
I wouldn't. I feel like me going further into it with my child is going to make them bring up more ideas. So if leave the kids alone, I don't do none of that.
Thank you. Leave the kids alone, exactly.
I spoke to a mom who said gender's on a spectrum. What do you think about that?
There's no spectrum. There's male.
People think that gender's on a spectrum. I think y'all are on the fucking spectrum, dude. Jesus Christ.
It's female.
After hearing the mixed opinions of one of the most controversial topics regarding pride, that being children's exposure to these ideas, I wanted to know what the attendees thought of the gay pride flag ban in Hamtramck. Do you think that's an infringement on like the First Amendment or something?
Honestly, yeah.
That doesn't seem right.
I don't see why it affects them. Like, why would they even care who waves what flag?
Yeah, stop.
If that's what they want to do, that's what they'll do. I think it's dumb.
I don't think that's acceptable. It's discriminatory.
Sure.
You guys are going to figure it out.
That's the whole mission. After hearing the opinions of the LGBT community, I drove to Hamtramck, where they banned the hanging of the pride flag in public, and I immediately noticed countless hijabs and, surprisingly, pride flags. There are a lot of gay flags out here, actually. I wonder if that's in direct response to what's going on out here. So I knocked on the door of the first house I saw hanging the pride flag. Hi! We were wondering if you'd be willing to speak about the whole gay flag ban.
They said that they didn't want to fly the flag on public property.
Okay.
So this is private property.
Got it.
I would say that it's kind of controversial. There's a lot of pushback against gays in general.
Okay. And is that because this is a predominant...
See, why is there a pushback against the gay community? Because y'all are publicly exposing yourself. What does showing off your penis have to do with pride? Like, sincerely, people are taking their kids to these pride parades, and in the extremist case, you see some dude butt slamming his partner as he's walking down the street, handing out candy to everyone, like, oh my god, oh. Well, fuck off, dude. But that's all fine because you're progressive. But, oh my god, go on TikTok and say there's only 2 genders, and people lose their shit.
Muslim community out here?
I think that's part of it.
Do you think the mayor is a controversial figure after this?
He is with me.
For context, Mayor Ghabib is the mayor of this town and made headlines for being the first Muslim mayor in a U.S. city. And he recently entered controversy after defending the city council's unanimous decision to ban the display of the LGBT flag in city.
And here's the thing of it, Muslims are very much, they treat their women like shit, and they're very much homophobic. In the Middle East, if you come out as a gay man, they will force you to transition into a woman because Allah forbids it. Fuck off. And if you don't transition, they murder you. Like, it's disgusting how religion and greed and corruption control everything.
But what did the Muslim community think of this decision? How you guys doing? What are you guys' thoughts on this gay flag ban thing?
I don't really care about it.
You don't even care?
2 genders, you know.
2 genders, okay.
They're adding the 3rd, you know.
So they're trying to inject their values into your guys' community? Is that kind of how you feel, or?
No, I mean, they were here before us, but, like, at the same time, it's like, why are you making it such a big thing? You could just live your life in peace.
And the fact that people are having the stupidest arguments, YouTube, over how many genders there are, like, how about an argument how we, like, stop AIDS and cancer, but no, we're gonna have a fight about gun control and how many genders there are. It's fucking stupid. If you want to be politically correct, let's just say there's only 4 genders: male, female, trans, hermaphrodites. Leave it at that. You can't say non-binary because those folks don't have a gender. When you hear these trans folks say that they're transgender and also non-binary, I'm like, you can't identify as the opposite gender and then say you have no gender. That's not how it works. Figure out your own fucking inclusive language. Fuck's sake.
Ours of peace. Just don't go knocking on people's doors and yelling at other people like Muslims. They be putting flags in private property.
Really? Oh, so people are putting flags in, like, your guys' houses?
Yeah. You know what kills me about this city right here that he's doing the interview in? Is that if you're Muslim phobic, it's all they'll talk about and blah, 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 but they're allowed to be gay phobic? I'm like, screw that. And then on top of that, the gays are allowed to be straight phobic and no one calls it out. You know, and like, my personal opinion, YouTube, honestly, I think the world just has too much hatred in it, man. That's my opinion. Like, we only need to just, like, sit down, fucking smoke some good fucking marijuana and just chill the fuck out, man. We would have world peace if marijuana were legal everywhere, but I didn't say that out loud. In fact, you want my honest opinion? If I was president of the United States of America, I would drop the tobacco age back down to 18 plus. If you're old enough to die for our country, you should be old enough to smoke a damn cigarette. And I would legalize all drugs for 21 and up. I would legalize prostitution for 21 and up, both to get it and receive it. Make it super safe. Tax the fuck out of it. And you would literally cut down on rape, sex trafficking, gang violence, and overdoses, and fucking make this country rich. And then I would continue my progress by trying to establish peace with all the countries. and go from being like the most hated country in the world because people are jealous of democracy to like, hey, you Americans are all right, man. Yeah. Living life in peace, you too. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us. And here's what I'm going to, and I hate to be a spurg about it, but Ozzy Osbourne's Dreamer is one of my favorite Ozzy songs because of the quote, without each other's help, there ain't no hope for us. Your higher power may be God or Jesus Christ. It doesn't really matter that much to me. And it's the truth.
That's kind of crazy. Okay, so we have another flag over there. Could be interesting. Maybe they have some thoughts.
Not happy with the ban. I believe it to be unconstitutional. We've had 3 flags torn off.
Really?
Our porch.
Yeah, the first time they ripped.
And that's some bullshit too, man. Like, who the fuck are you to destroy someone's personal property because you don't agree with their political ideology? That is so fucking stupid.
Flag, and then the next 2 times they actually jumped on the pole and broke the brackets. So that's a new one.
We saw them. They were, probably 16, 17, 18. I believe hate is being taught to the kids. I'm not teaching hate against Muslims.
And that's just the thing of it. That is exactly my point. YouTube is, we gotta, like, a little bit of hatred gives you some backbone, you know? You want to hate sickos and animal abusers and what have you, that's one thing. But to hate somebody because of they're gay or because they're Muslim, it's just fucking stupid. You want to hate somebody because they're a miserable piece of shit, that's justifiable, but like to hate somebody based off of anything else, like skin tone, what have you, is stupid. And watching this goddamn video on YouTube, it makes me want to have another beer.
Muslims should not be teaching hate against gay people.
Okay. So is there like an...
And that's my whole shtick. And like Muslims and gay people and people in general just need to stop preaching hate to somebody simply because, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got people who, the way I look at it, it's just adults getting their dicks and their pussy sucked. And my theory on this is that if you hate gay people, you're either secretly gay or you're mad because you're not getting your private parts touched. That's my theory on it, YouTube. And like, you know, maybe if you eat your girlfriend's pussy out once in a while, see where it gets you. See where it gets you.
Tension out here right now that otherwise did not.
Of course, Muslims are not allowed to smoke tobacco, drink alcohol, eat bacon, masturbate, or have premarital sex, so no wonder why they're so fucking miserable. Oh yeah. You know what this Coors Banquet beer tastes like? It tastes like freedom, and it tastes like America.
This is, I think, between the gay community and council.
Got it.
So is, blame our neighbors for this.
I see it.
There are slurs going on, you know, people are being called.
Oh, people are being called slurs? No. Like I have any idea what that feels like? Oh, yes, I do. Because I'm a heterosexual goth male, I get called a faggot and a tranny for just wearing makeup and nail polish. And because I have Asperger's, people call me a fucking retard. So you want to sit here and say, I don't know what it feels like. Okay. Maybe not to the degree you have, but I have been harassed. Like the crap, YouTube, that my YouTube trolls have put me through. Like, it is surreal. Most people have literally said this to me, and I quote, Josh, I don't know how you fucking do it, man. Your YouTube trolls go out of their fucking way to make your life hell, and you just continue to keep making videos and doing your thing, and it's honestly inspiring. I need some more nicotine. 1 second. Pack my church warden up. Now, one of my YouTube fans sent me this pipe, and I noticed there was a crack in the stem, so I fixtured it with some painter's tape and some ponytail holders and some clear drying Gorilla Glue. And it adds kind of like a cool texture to it. And like, it wasn't that deep of a crack, it was just on the side of the stem, you know? So it adds character to the pipe. I was able to pretty much fix it.
The F word and various other things.
Publicly?
Yeah, where does that come from? It's being...
Yeah, a lot of it is just, and I think this is my 2 cents on it, like, our society is being told that if you don't care about everyone else's feelings, you're a bigot and you're not woke enough, but you're allowed to validate your own feelings. No, you're not. And constantly, on top of it, everyone's seeking approval from someone to a point, you know.
I think it's being taught from the mosque, from the pulpit.
Interesting. Okay.
They had young people at the polls screaming, "Kill the fat," during the voting.
After hearing from both sides, I began to walk to
How about we kill pedophiles instead?
town hall to see if I could talk to the city council that unanimously voted for the flag ban, when out of nowhere an old man screamed at me through his door. What's up? What's up? What's up? We're just walking around talking to the people that live here. Ask them about this gay flag thing.
I think that this is the United States of America.
Yeah.
And we can fly any flag we want.
That's the nature of this country, and I'm frustrated that they won't sit down on both sides and discuss matters and come to a reasonable result.
And this guy gets it. It's very frustrating to watch our society crumble under greed, sex, money, greed, and like political opinion just dictating everything we do in our society. It is so goddamn frustrating to watch. All the hatred in our society, man. Like, it's become this thing where it's like gays versus straights, trans versus cisgendered, you know. Everyone's just pissed about something, and it's like, join the club, life sucks, people are assholes.
These Muslim teenagers pulled.
And like, that's what makes America beautiful, is you should have the right to fly whatever flag you feel like you want to fly, even if you disagree with it, to an extent. To an extent. You know, as long as you ain't flying like a Nazi flag or whatever, who cares?
And asked what we were filming. How you guys doing? Let's talk to these guys real quick.
What's the video today?
We're investigating the gay flag ban thing.
We gonna egg the flag.
Really?
Yeah.
You got these Muslim teenagers who are going around egging houses who have gay pride flags. That's real nice. Way to waste food. Way to fucking waste food. So, the interview is now on like these 4 Muslim teenagers who are going around in their city and egging people's houses who have gay pride flags. And then 1, that's a waste of food, and 2, that's extremely intolerant. Like, and then the Muslims want to preach about how they're sick and tired of everyone, you know, not tolerating their belief system, but they're allowed to be intolerant to everyone else. And you see that pattern with just the way everything's shaping out right now. Like, all these individual groups are going to bitch about intolerance, but if they intolerate someone else, it's justified.
About to go egg flag.
Yeah.
Oh no. I don't know if this is the best idea, boys. The old man seemed to recognize these kids, so they pulled over and things got crazy. Maybe not the best idea. I don't know about this one, boys. So why'd you guys come out here?
We seen you and then we was not sure it was you.
It's me. What are you guys up to right now? You guys are throwing eggs around?
No, it was his idea.
So you see that flag right there?
I see that, yeah.
That's some gay, bro.
Okay.
Right? And we don't.
These Muslims want to be like, that's some gay shit, bro. And I'm over here like, yeah, but have you seen the way Muslims treat women? Just saying.
We don't mess with that. We don't mess with that, right? So our religion is, oh yeah.
Our religion, you know what I hate about fucking religion? It's hypocritical, it's brainwashing, and it's intolerance. Thank you. That's why Cobra Cult kicks ass, man. You just gotta believe in yourself and fuck sickos, smoke weed, and shout out to the devil. It's the power of rock and roll and just believing in yourself, you know.
Apparently, this old man used to work at the school these kids attended, and the most unexpected debate began.
Look at that, a real hippie, American hippie. You guys, freedom is what this country is about.
You guys don't support that. You guys don't support the flag.
We're Muslims.
And that's the thing of it. If it's about freedom, then I'm like, oh my God. And you know, these Muslim dudes, they see two chicks making out, and they're like, their religion says they're against it, but if they're straight, they're like, that's kind of kinky and hot. I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Science class, right?
Yeah.
They told me there's something called the XX chromosome and an XY chromosome.
Sure.
Right?
In this country, you can be who you want to be.
Yeah.
And this,
And if you want to stay here, adapt our ways, please. I was going to move to Ireland. I wasn't going to take my American ways there and try to make
man,
them
I'm about to
into
move back
America.
to Yemen, bro.
You guys don't
So
even
we're
live.
about to move back to Yemen. These entitled prick teenagers who are living in America, and they don't realize how good they have it here, dude. It's like, you hear all these fucking people who are like, yeah, I'm so sick and tired of living in America. It's all gone to shit. Then fucking leave. Fucking leave. You're so tired of America and the way things are going? Fucking leave. People don't realize how good they have it in America, dude. For the most part, we got access to health care, clean drinking water, you know. Like these privileged first world assholes. It's just... Ugh.
my teacher hung up a pride flag, right? I took it down, not slowly.
I gave you money. I was a boss of your school.
You were a boss, not anymore.
You act like a bunch of assholes.
You take it.
I'm a minor.
No one cares. Like, that's the thing of it. They are acting like assholes. I fully agree with that dude.
Why aren't some girls with you?
You okay? You
Why
okay?
aren't some females?
Hey, because that's a haram, bro. That's haram.
That's haram, bro. You want to crap on people for being gay, but your religion says you can't have a female friend until you're married? Okay. You have fun with that.
Equally. That's what this country is about. You need to start treating your women correctly. The country is freedom.
Yeah, buddy, you said it. Muslims do need to treat women better. I see the way Muslim women get treated. Because here in America, if a woman wants to be as slutty as possible, and the idea that a woman can't show off her body without being labeled a slut is so fucking toxic. But then you have the reverse side of it with like these Muslim women, and they show some ankle, okay? Then they get rocks thrown at them. I'm like, that's a bit barbaric, don't you think? Like here in America, a woman can show off her titties, and if she thinks you're unattractive as a dude, she can call you a creep and a rapist and say, quit staring at my titties. Do guys get that same privilege for showing off our biceps? Do we get called a simp for showing off our biceps? No, we don't. It's the truth.
Hey, we're talking about LGBTQ.
I am.
Where you are LGBTQ?
What?
I'm not. I don't even know what those letters mean.
Hey, then why do you support them?
Yeah, ha. You sound like stupid young men.
Okay, if you don't know what the letters mean, why the fuck you support it? Because it seems kind of stupid and redundant to support a cause that you don't know what it stands for, kind of thing. But that's just my 2 cents.
Our citizens, you have vowed by your word that you will support the Constitution of this country.
But listen, he said.
How about some words we can understand,
Okay,
gentlemen?
yeah, okay. But the Constitution tells us that we have religious belief. So what are we supposed to agree with you, but like disagree with another rule of the Constitution? What do you want us to do?
I want you to do what it says in the Constitution. Religion and politics have to be totally separate.
Thank you. He said it. Religion and politics need to be separate. He said it. Mixing religion and politics is like mixing gas with a lit match.
Infringing on their ability to be Muslim is my question.
Hell no, I've gone to meetings, they voted for me.
When you said they voted for you, right? Who are you?
And here's the thing of it. If you live in America, you have just as much right to be Muslim as I do to be a Satanist. You know what I'm saying? That's what's beautiful about America. We have this thing called freedom of religion.
Richard hit.
But that doesn't give you the right to be a dick to somebody else just because you don't agree with their religious politics. It's fucking stupid.
Okay. Was on the school board for years. You guys don't even let me finish. But you guys have to start thinking for yourselves.
Okay, listen, we chose to come live here because the Constitution says we're allowed to have religious beliefs. And in our religion, it says to not support any kind of, like, it literally says do not support, like, a woman marries a woman or a guy marries a guy.
Is that haram?
That is...
So because your religion said that you have to do it, so if your religion told you to jump off a cliff, would you do it? Like, fuck off.
Strictly forbidden. You do that, you go straight to hell.
Yeah, LGBTQ is not religion.
I was Catholic. I believe those. I used to.
So the question is there a certain through line where everyone can respect each other, even respecting the differences in the beliefs?
That's exactly what it says in our religion. In our religion, it says that we are not allowed to disrespect any other religions. We're not allowed to disrespect any other people.
Yeah, live that. You can live it.
You're not allowed to disrespect anyone else's religion, but like, that's rich. That is fucking rich. You're not allowed to disrespect anyone else's beliefs, but... Oh my fucking God.
When people try to show that they're gay, they show it. Like you could be it, or like you don't have to show it and like act like it and do it in public.
Oh, that coming from... Oh, okay. So you got this Muslim little cocky asshole teenager saying... What did he say? Let's rewind that.
Other religions, you're not allowed to disrespect any other people.
Yeah, live that. You can live it.
What we need to cut out is when people try to show that they're gay. They show it. Like you could be it, or like you don't have to show it and like act like it and do it in public.
This coming from a town that is heavily influenced by Muslim culture where you're allowed to dress and act and all that sort of crap. Hypocrisy is a bitch, dude.
Sir,
This is the United States.
Sir, you gotta understand, this community is a Muslim community. It's full of Arabs, Bengalis.
Nothing to do with cities or government.
This city,
the rest of us alone.
we're leaving you alone. We're not doing nothing. Bro, we're gonna tear that flag out.
You can't even reach that flag. What are you saying? We don't give a fuck about y'all.
I hate flags.
I don't give a
I don't care either. So why are you talking about these other?
Okay, if you don't give a fuck, then why are you getting so heated about the issue? If you don't give a shit, why the fuck are you getting so heated about the issue?
The plan with the eggs.
We was joking.
How you doing? Amidst all this yelling, I didn't realize the kid threw an egg at a house, which caused the guy to come out with a shotgun, cussing everyone out.
Did you get the fuck?
What was that?
Mentally ill. He pulled a gun.
Got it. You pulled a gun? Alright, maybe we split. Let's get out of here. Yeah, everyone? Alright, let's go. Oh, alright.
And drive safely,
They
guys.
just egged the house. That's what's happening here. Step by step, right? One step forward. That's it, yeah. As we helped Richard and this other random dude on crutches back up the stairs, the debate was over and we assessed the damage. Hey there. Did they egg your house? Yeah, we'll go here. All right, make sure everything's okay. We kind of witnessed an egging go down in real time. Try to dissuade the young lads from throwing the eggs, but two houses definitely got egged. I think it's ideal that everyone can get along, but seemingly not possible out here given the state of things. Also, whoever has the most viewed TikTok in 1 week using a clip from this video, I will cash up you $500. Post however many times you want, but you must tag my TikTok and put YouTube Tyler Oliveira in the video description. Last week's winner was Viral Clips 100. Go study his account and good luck this week, guys.
Ugh, for fuck's sake. That was painful to watch. That was unbelievably painful to watch.